booties for black girl nerds.
I am very, very excited to talk to the two of you because I watched this movie kind of late and it kept me up, and I really had to ponder it and then go back and watch a couple things and go back to the ending after I watched it. You both perform on such a high, intense level in this film, and it made me feel so many things that I haven't felt with a film in a long time. Beginning with you, Sarah, when you perform with such emotion for the full length of a film, what was that experience like for you, and how does this experience differ from other films you've done?
It was, first of all, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. It was a really intense shoot. It was a small independent film. Chris Aubrey and I all lived together in the same hotel, an hour away from set. We would commute to and from work together. Chris would usually drive us. Once we were on the location, there was like no internet or cell service really. And we were shooting nights for like 4 or 5 weeks. So the atmosphere was really intense. I remember often I would like go to bed, like kind of running through the day. And then I would wake up the next morning, like saying my lines from the previous day. I was just like, it was like I was obsessed with it, or I was just really I couldn't get out of it, which is fine for, a shorter shoot. I think I would have lost my mind if it was like 4 months.
Chris, for you, watching your character, I would say, along with Aubrey, we watch you go from just a mild mannered guy, pretty low key, and then we watch you build into this crescendo and come back down. Is it taxing on you as an actor to have that wide spectrum of emotions? Like Sarah said, she was waking up the next day. How did it affect you doing such a tension charged performance?
I don't know. I mean, like, I think subconsciously you kind of wind up like preparing for it because you read the script enough times before you actually shoot it that you know what you're about to get into. So, I mean, like in the same vein of like getting ready for like a sports game of some kind. It's like you stretch, you do all the things that you need to do to then play the game. So I don't know. You kind of go in. Yes, of course. Like there's some endurance involved in that, especially in the first half and in the second one where we have these like really long, like 15-page scenes to do. There's kind of this marathon feeling, but you're in it together with these cats, and like they're all like good partners and teammates to have. So you kind of feel supported even though you're exhausted.
Absolutely. Sarah, with Blair, we have an idea of what type of a person we think Blair is. She seems a bit kind of neurotic, a bit tense, and then we learn later on she's a different type of personality, or is she a different personality? How would you describe her?
I think in terms of thinking about the movie in two separate parts, I mean, I think that they are characters that are in conversation with each other, but I definitely think that in the first half of the movie, she's someone who's caught herself in this dynamic with a person where she's like desperately clinging on to her relationship and what she thinks it should be. And the more she kind of clings on to it, the more she starts to unravel. Whereas in the second half of the movie, she's someone who really like knows her function and in the power dynamics that she's trying to really thrive off of and she's trying to benefit from.
Chris, when we move into the second half of the film, it's like we're seeing a film within a film. And how closely does art imitate life? Have you ever had an experience where the film set is that chaotic and all these crazy things are happening while you're just trying to get that scene?
I mean, it's not. You mean in terms of this film or just in any film?
In any project you've ever done?
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think in this movie maybe like it's a bit dramatized for entertainment purposes, but when look, like there's like tempers definitely flare, and people get anxious when you're on like a time constraint like you are, and so while some of the things in the movie feel like cliches, I think cliches are cliches for a reason, and it's because they've happened before. And yeah, like I personally have maybe not that manipulative of a situation as it is in Black Bear, but I think there's a certain, you kind of like drop certain formalities when you're in a pressure cooker situation like you are sometimes while shooting a movie. But I think that's what makes it fun, and it's part of the it's part of the enjoyment of doing that.
Sarah, what I liked a lot is that there's so many remakes, there's so many reboots, and that's cool. Everything has its place in the industry. It was so nice to see something fresh, something new that I haven't seen before. How does the indie film experience compare to, say, the big box experience for you as an actress?
Yeah, I think I was drawn to that as well. I think when you read something original or new, it is kind of rare to be doing something that isn't an adaptation or a biopic or kind of a franchise. And I think that certainly when I read the script, I thought, oh, I haven't read anything like this before. And I think that, Aubrey and Chris and I are all the kind of artists that are really like seeking that next challenge, that project that's going to push us, that the people that are going to, elevate your work, as opposed to, maybe like what's the biggest paid track or what's going to, get you the most noticed for, something like that. And I think that that's really kind of what has guided all of us. And when you look at our bodies of work, you can really see that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Wow, this was incredible, and I need some other people to see it so I can talk about it, because I don't want to keep it like that for much longer, but I want to talk about it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Take care.
Better shake your booties for Black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for Black girl nerves.